Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of What the Health Just Happened, where we talk about all things healthcare, community, business, and life. The goods, the bads, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and everything in between. We are so fortunate to have on a variety of guests way smarter than we are to share their industry and life expertise. And today is no different. I don't know the IQ level yet of this gentleman, but I think he's smarter than we are.
Es muy inteligente.
Say that again?
Es muy inteligente. Isn't it? He's really smart in Spanish?
I don't know it. I don't know how to speak Spanish, Trey.
Well, we're rolling with it.
I love it. There's so many things to introduce here. I think the most important stuff, husband, father, child of God, that matters to you. Founder of Grounds for Grace. What's the nonprofit called?
Sponsored by Grace.
Sponsored by Grace. We're going to talk about both of those. And then for whatever reason, I think you're insane. Mayoral candidate. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Say it again.
Mayoral candidate.
Mayoral
candidate.
Yes.
Ron Armstrong, welcome to What the Health Just Happened, or Conversations at Jacksonville. Let's see which way it goes, but you ready?
Ready for it.
Where should we start?
I don't know. This is going to be a tough one.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Let's start with healthcare.
That's a great topic.
How do we fix healthcare? No. We're
fire everybody.
Right?
Amen.
If you don't live in Northeast Florida, you're a special human, and I'm just going to compliment you and see if I can't get you to blush by the end of the show.
Yeah, come on.
You got a crazy story. We all have crazy stories, but yours is pretty wild. Now we're sitting in Grounds for Grace off University here in Jacksonville. You had a rough road, and now you're an advocate for the city. You're an example as a husband and a father. You're just a wonderful human. I'm just going to hit on you the entire time.
Babe, did you hear that? Tell my wife that.
Write this down. Okay, rein it in. Start with the story, the addiction side, how you found God. Just educate me.
Yeah, so I mean, it really started at the very beginning. So I'm a big believer in generational curses, bloodline stuff. Picked it up at 14. Parents were addicts, grandparents were addicts. So when I picked that up, really didn't know what addiction really meant until I realized like it was kind of normal in my growing up in childhood. So with my dad being a heroin addict, my mom being, the full-blown alcoholic, coming home from school, finding liquor bottles, underneath my bed, and just really living in a dark time, trying to take my life at a very young age. I remember those moments vividly. And then traveling around, getting in trouble at a very young age, being locked up at a young age, and just thought the addiction was a part of who I was. There was no purpose. And so that took probably 11 years of my life. And then, full circle came around and was invited to church, and that's where everything changed.
We could talk about addiction a lot, by the way. Started at what age? 10, 14?
14.
14 years old. Alcohol, drugs, all the above.
Yeah, I was, smoking a little weed here and there, and then, somebody gives you a little drink and it makes you feel a little numb, and then next thing you know, you're like, man, that's kind of good. Popping a beer, or your stepdad, hey, you can have one, don't let your mom see, and, just kind of dampling in it. But then truly, I think 15, 16 is when it really got really heavier, sneaking out of my room and riding around with a crack dealer, and, being exposed to the hard drugs, and then the liquor comes in. And I mean, gosh, I'm just now getting into high school.
Where was this? Jacksonville?
This is South Daytona.
South Daytona. Again, it's the whole conversation there. You bounced around all over the place. Daytona, Tallahassee, you said North Carolina or South Carolina. You're bouncing around working construction.
Yep.
Are you working just to pay bills and get the next high?
Yeah, so I mean, in the middle of my addiction, the one thing my dad really did teach me, he taught me a trade. Growing up in, a single wide trailer, not having hot water, just not really poverty, but just a really rough upbringing, and, collecting cans for lunch money. And he took me outside one day and just basically told the story of what we're living in today. He said, hey, son, there's going to come a time where people don't know how to work. They're going to be stuck to screens, and a technology wave's going to come through we're living it now. But
oh man, not healthy.
Not healthy at all. But he sent me, he got me a job at the local power plant in Perry, Florida. It was called Buckeye. And then I learned the trade of scaffolding in the construction industry. And then that's what took me around, a lot of different states, making a lot of money.
I'm trying to fathom this, because I've talked about this. I openly say I went to rehab last year for alcohol. Divided family, divided home front. I'm guessing living paycheck to paycheck. I'm just trying to figure out this journey where somehow you end up in Jacksonville. What brought you to Jacksonville?
Yeah, so my last stop, I was on an ethanol plant And so my job was to go around to the different states, and they would send me to build either ethanol plants, power plants, asbestos projects. And it was great. Again, made a lot of money, but my last stop was in Hamlet, North Carolina. We were building a power plant, and one day I was up for days and stole a bunch of company property.
What kind of stuff? You told me that earlier, like nail guns and...
Well, I wanted to build my own deck out of all the...
I was going to say, did you go pawn it? Like, I thought you needed money.
No, I actually wanted to build it.
That's...
When you're an addict, you make really stupid decisions.
What?
So I took the company property, brought it home, built my own deck, and then somebody turned me in and said, "Hey, where did he get all that material from?" So I came home from work one day, and the sheriff's office and the CEO is in my front yard and standing right in front of my beautiful deck.
I love that you have a sense of humor about this. How much equipment?
I mean, it was a lot. I mean,
like $100K?
I'd say probably $60K.
Which now is probably $300K.
Oh, absolutely.
With inflation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You didn't tell me that earlier. So this stuff that you saw, I'm thinking you're like selling copper
I did
cans
that too.
or nail guns. But you got wood to build a deck.
Yeah, I stole a bunch of copper in my life.
Do you have a picture of the deck?
No.
We gotta see.
I'm not going back. I'm looking forward.
Okay, got it. What year was that?
So 2008, 9-ish.
Okay. Go ahead, Trey.
During all this, did you ever have any times where you actually did quit the nonsense, or was it for all those years just it was all gas,
just
no brakes?
reckless living all those years and just moving forward every chance I got.
Dude, I love the story. It's better and better. Okay. So that's what area? North Carolina? You just told
Hamlet,
me.
North Carolina.
Hamlet, North Carolina. No idea where that is.
Nope,
you know
me
where that
neither.
is?
Boontown, like it's just in the middle of the sticks.
And then you said you ended up in Jacksonville for Sunbelt Rentals.
Yeah.
You got offered a job, you just keep getting opportunities and
Yeah. I mean, that was
life raft.
Yeah. And that was really a lifeline because when I lost everything, a gentleman called me up, put my resume online. He met me in South Carolina at a Cracker Barrel. And he said, "Hey, you've got a very impressive resume as a young man. We've got a shipyard in Jacksonville out at Mayport. And so, if you can get to Jacksonville, we'll give you an opportunity." And that's really kind of was the start of the journey to Jacksonville.
Were you a natural born leader, outworking people? I mean, you're just given all these opportunities. Is this your whole life?
Yeah. So one thing I knew that I was really good at was just working hard, doing very difficult tasks, whether it was 500 feet in the air, leading hundreds of people. When I go to work, I go to work. The problem was that addiction is what really just held me down.
So offered a job in I love this story. We'll get to all the faith, all the nonprofits. End up in Jacksonville. What'd you order from Cracker Barrel? I'm just curious. My wife loves Cracker Barrel. I'm just
probably like Denny's. It was a Grand Slam, but I don't remember what it was called.
Chicken fried steak.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, you can't beat Cracker Barrel. You go there and under $20, you can leave.
It's true.
I don't know if it's still under $20. Everything's out. We're going to talk about inflation and money in a second in politics. So end up in Jacksonville. What a cool story. How'd you end up in the church?
Yeah, so came here still really broken and lost, no purpose. I knew I, was working very hard, got letters from commanders and pitchers and admirals out at the base. It was awesome. But one day, my crane operator, Patrick Harrison, never forget him, he walked up.
Shout out Patrick.
We love
Patrick, wherever you're at, shout out to Patrick. He walked up and he just really invited me to church. He's like, "Hey, would you like to go to church with me?" And no one's ever done that. I've never stepped foot into a church.
Never been in a church in any capacity.
I was always turned off by it. And so we show up to church in 2010, and he just, that was my introduction to hearing the gospel for the first time.
And you told a story too, like two things really. This is from the moment you walk in. And I've always kept my faith close to the vest, and now especially life work leadership, I talk about that. You went through the program.
Publicly,
that changed my experience in talking openly about faith. But you said two things specifically when you walked in those doors probably changed your life. Can you share those?
Yeah, so the first one was the gentleman, the greeter at the door. You go to a lot of different churches, you don't really think about the greeter, but the difference was David Woods. Shout out to David. He's in Jacksonville still. He came up and he's from Australia, and that accent, like, "Oh, it's good to see you, mate.
Give me a hug, mate.
Give me a shrimp
We're
on the
talk
bob."
like this the rest of the time, mate.
I'm like, I just got to get through the door.
She's rolling her eyes over there. I love it.
And he hugged me and he said, "Hey, man, really good to see you. Glad you're here."
Never met this guy.
And I mean, just being honest, when you're not hugged as a child and your parents don't tell you they love you,
there was some deep stuff going on when you got a hug.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was a complete stranger. So we get in the door. I'm already like, all right, holding back the tears as a grown man. Like, what's just happened there? And so then you get in your seat and then you look around and everyone's normal. Like I'm thinking you're going into like Catholic mass.
Stand up,
Suits
sit down.
tied,
Stand
and
up,
I'm
sit
thinking,
down.
okay, this is why I'm not into this. And I get in there and everyone's like board shorts. There's people in tank tops. And then you see this bald guy get up on stage with tattoos, like wearing his little kid's t-shirt, muscles popping out. And I'm like, who is that dude? And it was Joby Martin. And
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, right.
And the whole sermon was just directed at me. He spoke directly to my soul. And then at the end of the sermon, what was different was normally bow your head, close your eyes, raise your hand. But he said, hey, I just feel like we're going to do something different. I feel like there's people in this room who just really need to give their life to Jesus. If you're here, just stand up on the count of 3. He counted 1, 2, 3, and God just popped me up out of my seat.
And from that moment on,
Radical change.
right off the bat.
Yep.
There's so many things to unpack here. To me, it's how powerful a hug is and a hello.
100%.
And if you talk about the church or anything, like there's not Jesus, but welcoming someone with open arms and hugging someone maybe change your life.
100%. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's powerful for me.
That's why I always tell people now, you never know what an invitation to somebody can do. You know, an invitation changed my life from a crane operator.
Oh my goodness. Did you raise your hand to ask a question? Oh, I thought she was raising her hand.
You were his one more. Maybe.
Yeah. You never know. And I don't even know where this guy's at now.
We'll find him.
We'll find him.
Maybe.
Oh gosh, that'd be awesome.
Golly, that's okay. Reset. So during this time, you're still working construction. When did you get called to serve and be an advocate? Because we're going to talk about some incredible stuff you've done for this community that whoever doesn't know should, and a lot of people know. But when did that start?
Yeah, so I dove right in. The gospel was so attractive to me, and so I wanted to learn about this Jesus. I knew that I had a conversion. I knew something happened with me when I stood up out of that chair. So my first thing was my recovery through my addiction. I remember praying, God, would you please just take this away from me?
Rehab, any inpatient stuff?
No,
outpatient?
nothing. I remember vividly asking God to take the taste out of my mouth. And so probably in the first year, I just struggled with it. But now, 16 years clean and sober without going into any treatment was a true testimony to him doing what I've asked him to do. So then I immediately just went overseas into Haiti. So Joby called and said, hey, if you've surrendered your life to Jesus, you got 3 years to go on mission, go overseas, see what it looks like. So my first trip into Brazil was when I met my wife going into that trip. And so we went over there, saw our compassion kids, served over there for a week, came home, and I was just hooked. I just wanted to work for the church, clean toilets. I just wanted to be around.
Work.
Oh, gosh. I just wanted to be in the walls. And so met my wife.
Pause you real. I was going to say, so you met your wife on a mission trip to Haiti.
Yeah.
When you were there, was it like, oh yeah, she's special?
Oh, I told her I'd marry her right when I was on the bus.
Let's go.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love these
Yeah.
stories. All right, keep going with the story.
So,
She's probably creeped out.
oh, yeah. She was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so we come back, and we're married and engaged in 6 months.
Wow.
So we got straight to the point. We knew we both loved Jesus. We wanted to serve. And literally she said, okay, well, I believe you're supposed to quit your job. And so we were sitting in an apartment, and I was making 6 figures, good money. And that's all I knew. I never went to college, didn't have a degree. And she's like, we're going to figure this out, but I just can't have you doing this because I'm very nervous when, the stuff you were doing. So I quit, and I go to work at the town center, from making $110,000 a year to $10 an hour.
Oof.
You talk about
Surprise.
humility pill. And it was just like, okay, I was trusting the Lord. And so he bounced me around from warehouse to making $10 an hour to spraying lawns for $12 an hour. And then I just didn't know what I was going to do with my life because I didn't know in that moment my purpose. I just knew it was to give back. So fast forward, then the church gave me an opportunity to be a part of their thrift store ministry.
Hope's Closet.
Hope's Closet.
I bought it.
Shout
I might
out.
have got this
Shout
jacket
out,
from
Hope's
there.
Closet.
Yeah, man.
I buy a lot of my jackets.
We just
from the
got
thrift
ours
store.
from there. Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely, $10, $10 blazer.
$7 to $12 for a jacket. Do you ever get people asking, "Hey, I make custom suits. Let me make you a suit."
All the time.
I was like, "I'm not your clientele.
I
This
know.
is from the thrift store."
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Shout out to those people.
Yeah, that's right. Leave me alone. Call someone else. So Hope's Closet,
Yeah.
which continues to grow.
Yeah, so they brought me in there and started serving just as a volunteer, and then kind of God just put favor upon my life, and then ended up running the operation as store manager underneath Corey Whidden, who was the GM, and it was phenomenal watching people get saved in the thrift store, being able to pray for people coming in and dropping off donations, and I just used it as a ministry and loved every minute of it, saw God do some amazing things, and then in 2017, he called me to leave the church to go back into corporate America. And so,
not healthy. Corporate America.
Ooh, let's talk about it. But it was a great couple years with the church, and then corporate America. A gentleman owned a janitorial company, so I went from telling people about Jesus to cleaning toilets. So, hey, wherever where the money goes, you got to go. Yeah. So yeah, the biggest thing was with this guy. Tim, who owns environmental control here in Jacksonville, great believer, great friend. I came in as his operations director over the company, and we landed some of the biggest deals in the history of his company and did great things, managed a lot of locations. It was great. The only problem was it was all at night. And so,
that's a tough grind.
The industry.
Did you have kids at the time?
Oh, yeah. You were building kids and family, and that's the one industry that will never tank in this world is janitorial, because every building's got to be clean.
Yep. I think I go back to like firefighter days, nursing days. I'm at a point I could never work nights again.
I know.
It just absolutely wreaks havoc. So that's 2019. Keep going, because I love these conversations.
Yeah, so now we're getting into, 2018 comes around, and then the Lord calls me to go into an apartment complex in Jacksonville. We got a phone call that some kids were sleeping on the floor in Jacksonville, and they called me because at this time, everyone knew, like, if there was a need, Ron Armstrong's going to meet it.
People need something in the community, they call you, you're like, I'll
100%.
figure it out.
Oh, I was on fire for it. Like, it didn't matter if I had to drive somewhere, because, it was what Jesus was doing in my life. And so we got a call that kids were sleeping on the floor in an apartment complex called Cleveland Arms. And so,
what age kids?
These were toddlers.
Oh, geez, okay.
So immediately we get a U-Haul, get some beds. I'm driving over to the north side. Again, I'm not from Jacksonville. And so I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. Like, we're just going to deliver some beds to some kids. And so as we're driving into this apartment complex, I just felt this very eerie, dark feeling. And so you saw these guys on the corner.
What time was it during the day?
It was, I'd say probably afternoonish.
Okay.
And you look over and you see, which were just true gang members of the community, gold teeth in their mouth. One guy had a pistol in his waistband, and I'm driving in this U-Haul as, let's be honest, as a white guy in an all black community, I'm like, what are we doing? And we get up to the apartment, and the gentleman opens the door and, hey, thank you so much for coming. And I was like, yeah, no problem. But when he opened the door is when my heart just sank, because you look up and then you saw black mold all over the ceilings. You saw like roaches crawling on the walls.
This is the apartment complex.
This is the apartment complex. And then kids had no clothes on. There was no furniture. It was just a shell of an apartment. And I was like, holy crap, like where are we at? So we're setting up the beds, and then we got a moment to sit down with the gentleman, and I just said, hey, why is it like this over here? And he's like, what do you mean? It's like, this is how we live. We survive over here. And so they were so grateful for the beds, but when I left there, I was like, I cannot leave that community. And so I went home and told my wife, I said, I'm going to do something about this. And so fast forward, I spent 7 years in that community, revitalizing it. We changed the name. We did all kinds of great things, watched people get saved. So that's where I built our organization, Sponsored by Grace, and built it into a multi-million-dollar movement, 17 staff members, and we did the true groundwork of that community.
So Sponsored by Grace, still running, functioning now?
No, so ever since I decided to run for office, we closed that down.
Okay. But talk about the impact that you had through the years.
Yeah, some of the...
millions of dollars back into the community?
Yeah, local businesses backed us, just incredible. I left my corporate job because a gentleman came in one day and said, hey, I believe you're supposed to lead the charge for that community. I'm going to write you a check for $15,000 if you leave your job tomorrow. And so I left corporate America off of $15,000. And so it's just crazy things happen, but also some very traumatic things happen in that community. You can only imagine, I tell people all the time, we have an active war zone in our own community, and, watching your kids get shot and killed and going to funerals, all ages. And so it's still hard times over there.
We have about 3 or 4 minutes to the commercial break. We'll go a little lighthearted, then back into Grounds for Grace, and I'm sure we'll talk politics. Trey's chomping at the bit over there. We love shout outs, right? So who's had the biggest impact on your life? It sounds like Pastor Joby, right? That gentleman, your wife. Who else is like, man, if it wasn't for that person, I wouldn't be the man I am today?
Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult question because I've had a hard time trusting people, just because of all the trauma and just stuff that I've seen. But I mean, there's a lot of people in my life that have come through at the right moments. I got a great friends group, men's group now, where you call them out, the drop of a dime, they're there. Justin Stewart, he's been a man that has walked with me every bit of the way. If I had some, hard conversations, call him. He's been there. But honestly, I've been a lone ranger too. I've been a pioneer that not a lot of people understand. I stay very connected to the Lord, and when He says do something, I do it, even if it doesn't make sense, and that turns a lot of people off sometimes.
Do you get how often do you give your cell phone out? I've really struggled with this. I'm like, I got to stop giving my number out. Like, how many people are reaching out asking for help,
many.
assistance? Not many.
Yeah.
Really serious question here. How long have you had this mustache?
I must ask for your vote first.
Oh, that's so cheesy. What a dad joke. I love it. That's a serious question. I wish I could grow a mustache. I can't. It's like
Couple
creepy.
years. Yeah. The wife loves it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The kids love it.
My wife's over there shaking her head. Absolutely not.
I mean, I know it's probably not the most appropriate. My daughter on the nightly when I tuck her into bed, she's like, Dad, would you rub your mustache?
That's not it. That's a
it's my daughter, and she loves it.
I'm jealous.
Yeah?
I am jealous.
You can't do it?
It grows like creepy pool guy vibes. Like, it's very bad. I'll grow it out for a month just to show you. Like, you need to shave that immediately.
I can see like Captain Hook off of Peter Pan or something.
Yeah, it's not great. I'm jealous. When I was at the fire department, they used to, mustache March or Movember, and every year I'd try it. And like 3 weeks into it, I was like, I look.
Dude, I gotta get rid of this.
It's bad. It's bad. 1 minute till the commercial break. There's so many things to cover. Your story is incredible. We'll talk a lot about Jacksonville, the coffee shop specifically, and I do think it's worth talking about local politics, what that looks like. We could talk about anything, but your story to me is just inspirational to so many people, myself included. I think F3 we should talk about too.
Yeah, love F3.
Last question before the commercial break. Were you always working out? Like, you're in good shape. Was that your whole life?
Yeah, so I was very not in shape as a kid. Kind of got made fun of a little bit, but then when I really started taking it serious, like I was like, oh man, if I really take this serious, then there's something here.
Yep.
So when I came to Jacksonville, I took it very serious, got in shape very quickly. And everybody's got the dad bods now and rock them out, but
from abs to flabs.
That's it, baby. Yeah. You just keep looking at the mirror and you're like, man, I still got it.
I love it. Ron Armstrong, I love it. That's what the hell just happened. Welcome Jacksonville to the second half of What the Hell Just Happened, or Conversations on Jacksonville. We haven't decided which show it is yet. We're combining two. If you're catching us here on the radio station, good news is you can catch the full episode on your favorite podcast platform. What the Hell Just Happened? Our YouTube. Trey, are we on YouTube?
We're all over YouTube.
We're getting there. We're all over the place. We don't know what we're doing. Ron Armstrong, husband, father, the most important things, child of God. We talked a lot about faith, right?
Yep.
We probably lost some listeners, maybe gained some. Who knows?
Yeah.
At least, we got 5 listeners in here.
Amen.
Shout out.
Grounds for Grace. What a crazy story the first half. And I think we can keep doing some crazy stuff the second half. Let's get weird the second half. We're rolling. We're going to get weird?
Let's go.
Let's start with healthy or not healthy. Yes. Healthy or not healthy, kissing your daughter goodnight with that mustache.
Oh, healthy.
So healthy.
Absolutely.
Healthy or not healthy, the trash throughout cities.
Not healthy.
Healthy or not healthy, building a new stadium in Jacksonville.
Not healthy.
Oh, I'm going to disagree
I
with
knew
you.
that. I knew you
would.
would.
We're going to go out. Hey, we're going to go at it on this one.
He's with me.
Healthy or not healthy, running for city politics.
Oh, that's in between. I love it, but I hate it.
You got to pick one.
Okay.
For now, it's healthy.
For now, it's healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Healthy or not healthy, telling your future wife you're going to marry her the first time you met her.
Oh, that was not a... Yeah, I'm going to say that was healthy.
That's not healthy. You scared her.
Yeah, gosh.
Healthy or not healthy, F3.
Oh, absolutely healthy.
We'll do a shout out for F3. So
Shout out
fitness,
F3.
fellowship, faith, all over the United States.
Yep.
That's probably where we got to know each other first.
Absolutely.
Healthy or not healthy, nonprofits.
Oh, on what scale? Local?
Yeah.
Healthy for mine, not healthy for the way we're managing them.
Some nonprofits, I would say, are not healthy.
Agree.
We could dive into that. You got any healthy or not healthies?
Healthy or not healthy,
Yes, there we go.
farting in front of your wife.
The healthiest thing in the world.
So I'm going to
Hurry.
say not healthy for me.
Really?
Here we go. Let's
Okay.
go healthcare. I would argue that holding in your flatulence is not healthy.
Oh,
But I would also argue that for certain relationships, letting go of those flatulence in front of your wife
Yeah.
is not healthy.
okay.
In my instance.
Oh, interesting. Trey?
Healthy or not healthy, your
healthy.
kids then farting and saying, Dad taught me that. It literally happened yesterday.
Does
My
the
daughter.
cover come over the head?
Oven.
All right.
Healthy or not healthy pranks
Depends on the scale.
with your spouse?
Not she don't like it. Not healthy.
don't like pranks?
But my coworkers love it, and they're
Really?
going at it right now.
I
Absolutely.
love prank wars.
Yes.
I do think it depends the relationship.
Shout out to Ryan with his lactose prank.
Ryan,
Yeah.
what? Now I got to hear about this.
Yeah, more,
We're going
please.
off the rails. I love it. We're gonna have to talk about that off the
Okay,
record.
got it.
Okay, rein it in. So, faith journey crazy, addiction crazy, wife's story. We covered a lot of stuff. I want to stall a little bit on running for mayor because I still can't believe you're doing this. What happens at the coffee shop?
Yeah, so coffee shop currently is under contract, and one of the big things that I felt in order to run for local office, I couldn't really manage the business. And so me and the Lord just talked and said, okay, Lord, if you know somebody that wants to buy the business to allow us to financially be able to run the rest of this year in this campaign, I'll sell it. And so currently we're under contract with a family that hopefully will be the owners of it very shortly.
Shout
Out to the
Yeah,
Shout
shout out.
family.
Yeah, shout
And
out.
we'll say a prayer it works out. Sell the coffee shop. You run for mayor and don't win. Then what?
What the health just happened?
Is that?
I like it. I like it.
You're listening to connections, friends, relationships. Predominantly, I'm guessing your wife and
Yep.
God, right? But there's that. Who knows?
Who knows?
And you're fine with it.
I mean, I might be hanging Christmas lights for the rest of my
Well,
life.
if worse comes to worse, you and I can start a construction company, just painting street murals. Healthy or not healthy, street murals.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Don't get me started.
Taxpayer dollars.
I'll do it, especially healthcare related. There is so much fraud, waste, and abuse in healthcare. It's a problem.
Sure.
That's a hour-long conversation about healthcare,
Yep.
which I do think we need to talk about off the record. What makes you cringe when it comes to wasteful spending?
Yeah, I mean, man, there's a lot of things that make me cringe. And granted, I don't know every single pin drop item of the city, what's going on currently. But the things that, that we currently continue to see that come up that I don't agree with. Like, I don't agree that with taxpayer dollars, we need to be putting Wi-Fi in public parks. $900,000 worth of Wi-Fi and cameras. Don't agree.
Not healthy, and we need to get off our phones. So
Yes.
boom, double
Why do you
whammy.
go to a park?
I'm going to challenge both you guys because I think
right,
you
here
guys.
we go.
I'm
I
playing
love it,
devil's
Ron.
advocate.
Come on,
right?
bring it.
Keep going. So Wi-Fi, I could make a case for that.
Okay. So
Seems like a lot of money, but okay.
right now, nonprofits. So government spending, we give nonprofits, over $200 million in this city. I'll just call out. Go ahead.
Is this comparable to other cities? Like if you look at
We're one of the
Orlando,
highest.
Austin, Nashville, insert city, there has to be a dollar amount that's given to nonprofits.
Correct. But if you look at the role of local government, the role of local government is never to fund nonprofits. The role of local government, is to stay focused on first responders, infrastructure, the things that the taxpayer dollars that need to go back into the communities to make sure that the city stays afloat. When we start giving, I'm going to call out one.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's go, baby.
I love the Mosh. I've been here 16 years. The kids, when we went down to the Mosh, I thought it was a great place. It's a separate entity, separate nonprofit. Why do we have to continue to fund things from taxpayer dollars of this museum? I don't agree with. Then all of a sudden we tear it down, which costs another $800,000 of taxpayer dollars. And then we're going to build another one in a different location in the city. But yet we still don't have money, but we're going to give them $50 million. And so it does not all work together for me. Those are a little bit of the examples. We could touch on the stadium deal. I think I love Jaguars. I got great friends who play for the Jaguars, who retired from the Jaguars. But we have other cities who have built their own stadiums from their own owners. And then why do the taxpayers have to have the burden of building these type of infrastructure projects? We can go in for days talking about things like that. Right now, we're talking about, a culinary institute coming to Jacksonville. I love culinary, but for $33 million that we are on the hook for, now these are just some projects. Or Publix, $30 million. Why do we have to give Publix $30 million to come into downtown? So there's just these are big topics, but I just think,
huge topics locally, by the way.
Yeah.
Which again, all of these things, I'm like, man, why wouldn't we? You're just saying it's over? Like, where would the money be better spent?
Yeah. So the big, we got one coming.
It's good.
No, I wanted to answer your question.
I
real
thought
quick.
we'd make it through the whole show without talking about this stuff.
It should be going back into the taxpayer's pocket, and that's, I think, where he and I disagree with kind of like what you're saying is just, it's not for the government's role to decide what they do with our money. And I think it's just there, like when it comes to the roads and it comes to schools and things, I think a lot of us are on board with, hey, we understand, like I'll pay premium property taxes for good schools and stuff, but it's this nonsense I think that he's referring to of like, why would Publix get $30 million come downtown? That's like putting a gun to their head and being like, hey, put it down there.
I love it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but
guys.
I love what he's
On to the next.
Hey, no. I'm not going to defend this. To me, it's like you can make a case for economic development, putting a grocery store downtown. Like, I like to play the fence and debate it. Well, I'm telling you right now, we're going to film a separate conversation and then just like dive into the weeds, share it, distribute it. What would you do instead? Like, what do you think Jacksonville needs if you... Let's do it. If you win mayor, what are your priorities?
Yeah. So we want to continue to bring relief to the taxpayers. So right now we are in full support of what Ron DeSantis is trying to push. I mean, it's going to be on the ballot for this tax relief. So property taxes is a huge conversation right now across the state of Florida. So they're going to be on the ballot for the people to vote on. If we vote and this passes, this is going to be huge for the state of Florida and huge for the city of Jacksonville, because even the current mayor is proposing almost $300 million of a cutback from the current budget of a $2.1 billion budget. Now everybody's scrambling and saying, oh my gosh, where are we going to find that money? That is going to be a perfect example to cut back some of the fat from local spending. So we will stand fully on bringing that tax relief if we can continue to even cut the millage rate here in Jacksonville to bring property tax relief here locally. That's a big initiative that I have. Second, first responders. Like, you got to have a safe city. Right now, Jacksonville, even our homicide rate is continuing to go down, but the crime is not going down. So we talk about we're numbered top 10 in the United States for being one of the best cities in the U.S., but we don't talk about we're still top 20 in one of the unsafe cities in the U.S. So we've got to continue to get the officers on the street. That goes for technology, education, resources. I mean, people don't realize between JFRD and JSO, it's almost $1 billion budget. And so we've got to continue.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Wow.
But also we're talking about our correction officers, our 911 operators, anyone that puts on a uniform every single day in the city. We've got to make sure they're taken care of. Another, I don't want to say mess, but challenge we got to face is these pension funds. Like, we got to... There it is. Bring it on.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm sweating a little bit. I love it. This is going to keep going.
Yeah. And so...
Then we're going to have a fun dialogue the last 10 minutes.
And then the last, one in the big plan, because once we get our petitions done, we'll be releasing what's called the People's Plan. That's our big name of what our plan will be for the city of Jacksonville. Like John Delaney had the Greater Jacksonville Plan. Donna's plan is Donna Gets It Done. Ours will be called the People's Plan of Jacksonville. And then the last one is smart development. And so, like, right now, going back to all of the infrastructure and overdevelopment, we just need to have smart development. There's no reason why somebody has a residential property and then all of a sudden it can be rezoned into heavy commercial and then storage units can go right up. I don't want storage units in my backyard or in my community, or I don't want, like on the west side, 460 units getting ready to go in a small
That's a lot
area.
of storage, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Although we talked about the amount of crap that I have in my house for 3
You probably
kids.
have 3
I
or
could
4.
Use,
Yeah.
We don't. We could use one.
Gosh.
What about I love small business.
I do too, yeah.
But I also like large business. Now,
Yep.
I grew up in South Florida. I never want Jacksonville to turn into South Florida. I don't want it to be Orlando either. But I do want more companies to come to Jacksonville.
We have to have it.
Big
Yeah.
name organizations. So what if a big organization comes in and they want certain infrastructure, where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with conversation. Every person that wants to come to Jacksonville deserves an opportunity to have a seat at the table. Now, it does not mean that we have to bend every knee and elbow to big companies that are coming here. I think we have to make sure that we have the right cards on the table. I think where we start getting out of line is we start making bigger promises to people. And then next thing you know, now we're paying for incentives, forgivable loans, like a Winn-Dixie or an Everbank. And, you just got big money on the table. Grenade!
No, you're just throwing grenades. I love it. Keep going.
Yeah. And so, but we've got to focus back on the small businesses. Like, I'm a small business owner. Right now in Arlington, we've got what's called a CRA. The city of Jacksonville has come on top of the small business sector and said, if you don't comply to what we're asking you to do, we're basically going to run you out of these communities. We've got business owners now that are selling off their properties. The city saying, hey, we're going to take your property because you're not complying to this new grant. I mean, you can't put political suicidal pressure on small businesses because it's hard enough right where we're at.
It is an interesting time to be a business owner and a young parent.
It's hard.
The cost of everything, right? Are you running as a Republican? I mean, again, I also have to say I'm not endorsing
Watch the R word.
I'm not.
No, I'm just saying that's what everybody says.
I can't endorse a politician. I'm going to pivot that in a second. Are you running on the Republican ticket?
I am.
Okay. If we set up a debate between you and a current mayor or a past mayor, would you be up for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, impartial party. I find
Absolutely,
this so fascinating. You want something? You're going to say
You want
something?
some of
Trey?
this?
Trey's over there.
Going,
Not
keep going.
volatile.
I'm gonna have time to shine later.
Healthcare.
Yep.
The cost of healthcare. I don't know how much you know about healthcare.
Yep.
It is a disaster. People talk about access to healthcare. I think at the end of the day, to me, it's transparency and access to healthcare. Have you looked into that as you're running for this and things to consider? Where are you at on healthcare?
Yeah. So the biggest, maybe you can help answer this question. The indigenous community of Jacksonville right now, we give so millions of dollars to like our hospital systems here in Jacksonville from taxpayer pockets. And I'm asking the question, why are we paying people's bills? Help me understand this.
That's a 2-hour conversation on the side.
Give me a short clip at
So when you have government-funded healthcare systems, let's say Medicare and Medicaid,
Yep.
Medicaid is below a certain threshold. When you're a nonprofit hospital, you're supposed to give a certain amount back to the community. We could have a whole dialogue on that and how much money they're collecting through pharmacy benefits, a nonprofit hospital using that as a tax shelter to buy properties. But the reality is the cost of healthcare that continues to go up.
Yep.
If you look at right now, the national average for household income is about $66K. That's a household of 5.
God, I'm doing all right.
But think about it.
Shout out.
If you're
Shout
a
out
family,
myself.
if you're a family of 4, can you afford daycare,
no.
groceries, gas? Even if you're a family of 4 or 5 making $150K a year, so wherever you sit on the poverty threshold, you get advantages in healthcare that I think. I would argue why that's the case, because if you walk into a healthcare system for an emergency and that bill is going to cost you $10,000, you literally can't afford it.
That's right.
So when dude, this is such a long conversation.
Okay.
I think is worth talking about on
Love
the
it.
side. Because I would make a case you have to give back to the community. That's the point of nonprofit hospitals and for-profit is to give back to the community for those that can't afford it.
Gotcha.
The problem is the cost from both large insurance carriers, large hospital systems, it's always up and to the right. It's never stagnant or anything.
To be continued.
It's a long dialogue.
Got it.
So whatever happens with you, I would argue I would never recommend pulling any resources from healthcare in the community because it's very complicated, very expensive, but it's how are these large organizations spending that dollar that comes from the city and the government,
That's good.
which matters.
But
Were you gonna say something?
couldn't we've had conversations where it's a little bit on the patient population, maybe not following. We could limit some cost if some folks were willing to take the right approach when they come into these facilities, how they use them. I think there's a debate to be had on that.
Big time.
Would you say each ER visit's $10,000 a head that goes in there if they walk in there?
The second you walk into the emergency room, minimum. Like as soon as you walk in the doors, $500 switch flipped on. You're not going to leave that with $3,000 as soon as you walk in the door. It goes up. So people that don't have primary care physician access to any healthcare in any capacity, their natural inclination is to walk into the ER because that's where they can get it.
Yep.
So backwards. Taxpayers end up paying that bill.
Yep.
So they can't afford that $3,000, $5,000. The Jacksonville community is going to pay that. Oof. This is what's very difficult because I do believe like the number one way to fight healthcare costs is to take care of yourself as much as possible, to not need it. You're healthy. You've battled addiction. You're probably a healthy individual. Some of it is on the consumer. Like, it is my responsibility to take care of my health. But where do you draw the line? There are certain zip codes where,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
you talk about food deserts, access to healthcare in general, food.
They're going weekly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
That's, again,
We've got some good ideas, though. Maybe some billboards. Say, hey, don't come in here yet.
What are your thoughts on, you have billboards around town?
Do I?
Yeah.
Not yet. We will.
Billboards?
Absolutely.
Man, I want billboards all over town, just random billboards.
Absolutely.
They'd have like, just you never know, like a
Get
picture,
rid of the lawyer ones. Like put up fun
everywhere,
stuff everywhere.
not healthy.
Yeah.
Like pictures of squirrels.
Shout out Fair
randomly.
and Farrah.
Fair and Fair is everywhere.
Whew, they are,
They do
buddy.
a show with Cox too. Shout out Fair and Fair. Why not?
Kind of funny.
What do you do for fun? Do you even have any fun now?
Yeah, it's very limited. So, you can only imagine father, husband, running for office. When I do get away, I love to fish. I love,
Inshore or offshore?
both. We just got
Anything.
back. Yeah, anything. We just got back from offshore a little while ago. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I get. My wife says you only get one.
End of
conversation.
So you're not golfing 3 days a week.
No, I
fishing
can't chase
3
a
days
ball.
a week.
Yeah.
I think you prioritize. I'm guessing reading scripture, praying.
Yeah.
That's part of your personal time. Clearly, exercising and fitness is important to you.
Yeah.
Family time. I don't know, man. You get less and less spare time, Trey.
Well, with 4 kids, yeah.
Yeah, he's got 4.
But
We
hey,
have 3.
I'm good at napping, though.
You got to get up early and grind, and once you get home, it's a whole nother schedule.
What time do you get up in the morning?
3:50.
Every
You
day?
and that guy, Storm. Holy cow.
We had a personal trainer on with Patrick Young. Shout out to Excel Performance. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
He gets up at 1:30 or 2:30 every morning. What time do you go to sleep?
So I have to be in bed by 9.
And you're up at, say it again,
3:50.
not healthy.
I mean,
Not healthy.
It works for him.
Yeah, no, you're
So
clearly healthy.
Yeah. Wow.
Goodness
That's
gracious.
impressive, man.
Okay.
Maybe you
I-
should try down.
You guys come
yeah,
talk on the
they're-
mic. By
they're
the way,
ragging
my wife
Eric
and
right
son
now.
Everett are over there chiming in. First time they've ever joined. You
They're
guys got to
yelling,
get on the mic.
"Healthy!"
Yeah.
Being dead by 9 does not mean he's still on Facebook.
Oh,
Till
so
about 11 o'clock.
No.
you are?
No, I
Do you live on healthy or not healthy social media?
Depends on the day. There are days where it's not healthy. There are days where they are healthy.
It is a wonderful tool if used correctly. I'm the problem with social media. It's
100%.
not. It's not
Absolutely.
the platform. It's when I'm watching golf swings or fishing videos or woodworking or
You're staying
cat
right, and then you
bloopers.
go left.
and then all of a sudden 45 minutes passed and
Yep. 100%.
Hey, question. Speaking of social media, have you had any, I think you were outside of the JEA building. Was that correct recently? Have you had any people comment and give you advice that that was super helpful to maybe your campaign or something like that where you're like, damn, I didn't even think of that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've got the fastest growing social movement that any mayor has had in this city, which has taken us
out.
to another level of people who are engaged for the better or the worst.
Sure.
Yeah, so yes and no.
Okay.
core principles non-negotiable. Whether it's politically running as mayor of your household, like these are things. This is a line in the sand for me.
Yep.
I think a core family unit is important.
100%.
Safety. What are things like this? This is the number one most important thing to me.
Yeah, my marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah. I mean, we just had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and listen, life gets rough in marriage when you are with this person the rest of your life, and when you start asking hard conversations or questions. We had one drive, and she's like, "If I tell you to be done with this right now, will you be done?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be done. I'll hang the whole thing up." Because we've ran into so many people in this political world that have lost their marriage, have lost their kids, have fell into addictions, that now have money and power, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. You're gonna hang up everything that you've worked for some position? Absolutely not.
Wow, I got chills for that. Okay, magic wand.
Yep.
You can wave the wands. I don't know, 1 to 3 things you could change immediately tomorrow in Jacksonville. What would it be?
You said 3 things?
1 to 3. I don't know.
Okay. First one is
Name 10.
mayor.
You would change the mayor? That's the first answer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Second, I would love to see Jacksonville like Savannah. Like, we love going to Savannah. The river. Like, having so many things to do in Jacksonville on this St. John's River would be amazing. And then 3, family destination. Like, I think about kids. Like, we just tore down the Landing. Like, Jacksonville has to become a destination where people want to come and stay, because right now it's like becoming one of the transient cities where people come 1 or 2 years and they're like,
Maybe 5.
What is it?
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5.
3 to 5
Nah,
years.
let's go to St. John's, or let's go to Nassau, or let's go to Clay. And I'm like, dang, like, we're just, shout out to Clay. He's like, yeah, man, that's me.
Come on, bring your money.
Bring it all. But I want Jacksonville to be that destination. Like, we get on the map. I feel like we're still 5, maybe 10 years behind.
Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with the school systems?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you're just listening to them all. I'm like, man, we're out in Clay because of the schools.
Well, right
even
now,
speak
in
on
the
the
last
topic.
2 years, we're getting ready to close 10. We've closed 5. Now we're getting ready to do another 5. That's 10 schools from the Duval County side.
Really?
That's the next.
That's not good.
I'm watching the clock. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
That's the. Did you enjoy yourself? I always ask this.
Absolutely.
Would you come back?
100%.
I think we set up like a live debate too.
Yeah,
That's fun. So many things we barely broached the topic, but Proverbs 27:17.
Read it.
As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another.
Yep.
I always say thank you for being my iron.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you joining us. Barely scratched the surface.
Yep.
Whatever happens with the mayor campaign, you are a special human that cares about this city, continues to give back. I'm proud to know you. I wish you the best.
Amen.
Always praying for you and the family. And this is for everyone, right?
Yeah,
Take
absolutely.
political parties out of it in
Yep.
any capacity. Ron Armstrong, husband, father, child of God, I like saying it, founder of Grounds for Grace, mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
That's tough to say.
Yeah.
Conversations at Jacksonville. That's what the hell just happened.